Today, we're going to dive into the absolutely crazy private equity recruiting process, which, as you'll see from start to finish, is incredibly intense and unlike any other industry. And so in this video, I'm going to first be going over the crazy recruiting timeline, walk you through the steps in the recruiting process, and finish off with 3 key tips you need to know if you want to successfully recruit for private equity. Okay, so first up, let's go into the crazy PE recruiting timeline by starting off with this video from JP Morgan CEO, Jamie Dimon.
The other thing I don't like, I just want to mention this, I know a lot of you work at JP Morgan, you take a job at a private equity shop before you even start with us.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah.
I think that's unethical. I don't like it. And I may eliminate it regardless of what the private equity guys say or the people in the company. First, I want patriots, not mercenaries. And I think it's wrong to put you in the position. We have to kind of decide the next career move before you've had a chance to see what one company's like. So
as you just heard, bankers are now getting PE jobs before they even truly hit the desk as bankers. And let me break down what this means. First of all, there's 2 types of PE recruiting, which is on-cycle and off-cycle. On-cycle recruiting is what we're talking about in this video and refers to a very structured 1 to 2 months during which almost all the top private equity shops give offers to investment banking analysts while they're still in training. What I'm saying here is that investment banking analysts who graduate in May or June from undergrad start on-cycle PE recruiting in July and August and get offers to start working at a PE firm in 2 years, which is the average number of years analysts stay in banking. And since training normally occurs in the summer, this means analysts are getting offers before they even start work. Back in 2015, when I had just hit the desk at JP Morgan, the norm actually was that on-cycle PE recruiting would happen in late December and early January, which means that you are 6 months into your job and have some deal experience you can talk about. But now the timeline has started to shift earlier and earlier every year as PE firms aggressively try to recruit top talent. And they know that as long as an investment banking analyst gets through their analyst program for 2 years at a top group or a top shop or a top firm, they'll be equipped with the skills needed to succeed as a private equity associate. That's why private equity firms are willing to give out offers for a start date 2 years into the future, which pretty much doesn't happen in any other industry. Now, if you're watching this video because you're interested in breaking into private equity, you're definitely going to want to check out the Private Equity Investing Certificate program being offered by Wall Street Prep and Wharton. This program is sponsored by top firms like Blackstone, Carlyle, and KKR, and over 8 weeks, you can learn at your own pace through this online course that's taught by Wharton professors, Wall Street Prep's PE program director, and real PE investors including David Rubenstein, the founder of Carlyle, and Martin Brand, the head of North America PE at Blackstone, who will cover topics like the PE deal process, valuation, how to think like a private equity professional, and more. By completing the program, you also unlock access to the alumni member database, fireside chats with PE investors, and exclusive networking events with the world's top private equity headhunters and recruiters. This program runs 3 times a year, and if you sign up by the early registration deadline, you'll get $200 off. And be sure to use my code rareliquid to get an additional $300 off, and I'll leave information for everything in this video's description. Next up, let me walk you through the actual steps of the PE recruiting process, which is pretty unique as well. So as I mentioned, everything kicks off in July and August now, and what typically first happens is that if you work at a top bank, headhunters who have been hired by the top private equity firms will somehow get a hold of all analyst emails and set up either virtual or in-person chats to get to know you, your goals, which firms you want to prioritize, and etc. The headhunter networking process is extremely important because they stand between you and the PE firm of your dreams. But typically speaking, as long as you're motivated, seem prepared, and have a good answer for why private equity, they're really there to help you since they get paid for each person that they place into a PE shop. Second are first round interviews, which can happen either over the phone or over Zoom or in person. And these often include any combination of behaviorals, technicals, case studies, and LBO modeling tests. The last step to the process is an on-site super day during which you're being interviewed by 4 to 6 senior private equity investors who will ask behaviorals and technicals, and this step can also include case studies and LBO tests as well. The insane thing is that almost all the top PE shops conduct their interview processes within the span of 2 weeks or so. So firms like Blackstone, KKR, Carlyle, and TPG will give out all their offers in what feels like the blink of an eye because the recruiting timeline is so condensed and intense. Oftentimes, PE shops will also make you sign on the spot when they give you an offer. And so many of my friends just took the offer that they got right away because they know that if they step away, they'll lose the chance to earn $300,000 to $400,000 as a private equity associate and really lose the chance to enter into an industry they've been working so hard to get into. All right, let's next go into 3 really important tips if you're trying to recruit for private equity. Now, personally, I never partook in on-cycle PE recruiting, but I have a lot of friends who did, and they always say the 3 same things. First off, you need to prepare early. Given how early PE recruiting has become, pretty much in your senior year of college, you should be preparing for on-cycle recruiting if you want to break into PE because that'll really maximize your chances. This means getting your story straight, brushing up on technicals, and practicing out LBO models. And if you actually want to learn about LBOs, you can check them out in this video playlist here. Second, you need to shift your mentality and understand that PE recruiting is not like banking recruiting. In banking recruiting, you're competing with the broader population, but for private equity, you're competing with the best of the best and people who live and breathe finance. PE firms have much fewer seats for each class as compared to banking, and they also provide very high compensation, right? So PE shops hire much more carefully and truly only really want the cream of the crop. And so this means you can't take the process lightly and need to prepare extremely thoroughly and meticulously. Third, you need to develop an investor mindset. In PE interviews, they want to see that you can think like an investor, not just as an analyst. So you're going to want to practice analyzing companies from an investor's perspective by thinking about what makes a business attractive, how you would approach growth, and what kind of risks you'd be looking for in order to ultimately articulate investment theses and understand the factors that drive value in different types of businesses. I'd encourage you to read books like The Intelligent Investor and perhaps even start investing in the stock market so you know what it's like having skin in the game as an investor. So as you probably can tell by now, the on-cycle PE recruiting process is extremely intense. It's unlike any other industry and kind of wild because you get an offer for 2 years later before you even start really working. But it is really great because you're able to actually have an offer for a great industry. You can go through investment banking knowing that there's kind of an end in sight. And if you actually end up really liking banking, then you could actually technically just renege your offer, I guess, although that's really frowned upon. But if you really, really like banking and don't want to go into PE, then I think you do kind of have that option. So it's kind of like an insurance policy. I also wanted to mention that on-cycle recruiting happens, it's this 1 to 2 month crazy period, but you can still get PE offers and offers in venture capital, growth equity firms, hedge funds in what's called off-cycle recruiting. And that's pretty much just everything besides on-cycle. Headhunters will continue to reach out to you throughout your investment banking analyst years, giving you opportunities. And whenever you feel like there's one, whether it's 6 or 12 or 18 months into your job, that maybe there's an opportunity you want to jump at, then that's where in off-cycle recruiting, you can still get a great offer. Also, before I let you go, I wanted to let you know that I'm building out my own How to Get Into Investment Banking course and giving out big discounts for those who sign up early. So I'll leave a link to that in this video's description. With that said, thank you all so much for watching and hope to catch you all in the next video. Thanks guys and peace.